Have you ever wondered how Apple is able to produce millions of iPhone with new features every year? And how is Amazon able to manage one-day deliveries? Well, the answer is supply chain management. It is an extremely critical business function in the manufacturing industry, and it is rewarding too. Even beginners working in this domain can make about 15 to 20 lakh rupees in India, and in US you can expect a salary between 100,000 to 150,000 US dollars. Considering this high monetary value, a flock of MBA grads are naturally driven towards the specialization of supply chain management. Does that mean you can only enter the supply chain domain by having a management degree behind your back? Well, the answer is no. The supply chain domain in itself filled with a lot of things such as inventory management, supply chain analytics, procurement technologies, etc. So if you have an intrinsic interest and strong know-how about good supply chain management, you can definitely land a job in this field. And today we are here to help you with that. Welcome to Intellipaat Supply Chain Management course. This course has been designed by keeping current industry expectations in mind by top industry experts working in the companies like Amazon, Accenture and AB and Bev, alongside experienced IIT faculties. So ensure staying tuned till the end of this video. Now before we dive into the course, first of all, let me take you through the agenda that we have at hand. To begin with, what is supply chain management? Following that, we'll learn how to start a career in supply chain management. I'll put more lights on supply chain management roadmap, supply chain management key concepts. We'll also know about Industry 4.0, usage of technology and operational efficiency, decision making in supply chain, and also we'll understand introduction to vision, mission and goal of supply chain. What is supply chain objective, mission statement of a company, vision statement of a company, and what are the goals and objective? And what about Amazon's vision, mission and goal? I hope you guys are clear with the agenda, so without any delays, let's dive directly into the session. But before we begin, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Chain management. A supply chain is the network of all the people, businesses, resources, tasks, and technological advancements involved in the production and distribution of a product. An entire supply chain includes distribution of raw materials from the supplier to the producer to the final delivery to the customer. Why do we call it supply chain management? We call the process as supply chain management because the physical connections between a chain's links are minimal, just one on the input and one on the output, and are scarcely indicative of how our current supply systems operate. The chain's links can rub against one another when it is in motion because they are actually tugging against one another. Why is supply chain management important? As we all know, systems for supply chain management efficiently reduce costs, waste, and manufacturing cycle time. A just-in-time supply chain where retail sales automatically transmit replenishment requests to the manufacturers has become the industry standard. Retail shelves can be refilled virtually as soon as the product is sold. Efficient supply chain management adds value to the supply chain cycle in the following three situations. Recognizing potential issues. The buyer may complain of poor service if they order more stuff than the manufacturer can provide. Manufacturers could be able to foresee the shortfall through data analysis before the customer is dissatisfied. Dynamic pricing optimization. Products that are in season have a short shelf life. These goods are often discarded or sold at steep discounts towards the end of the season. Prices are frequently dynamically adjusted to suit demand for perishable products by airlines, hotels, and other businesses. Similar forecasting methods can increase margins even for hard items by applying analytical software. Enhancing the distribution of merchandise that is available to promise. When an order is placed, manufacturers can confirm a product delivery date. You may be wondering what companies use supply chain management. Well, companies like Unilever, Amazon, Cisco Systems, Intel, Nike, H&M, Starbucks, Apple, and a lot more are using this supply chain management to improve their businesses. Want to know about the types of supply chain management? There are 6 models of supply chain management. Continuous flow. The continuous flow approach is centered on productivity. It provides stability. The firms who consistently provide the same product with little variation or modification are best suited for this traditional model. Fast chain. The responsiveness of the fast chain concept is perfect for producers who often alter their product lineup. The manufacturer that can flood the market in this instance before the trend cycle is over is the winner. Efficient chain. In highly competitive businesses, where end to end efficiency is the ultimate goal, the efficient chain model is appropriate. Agile. The agile manufacturing methodology is perfect for companies that produce customized goods. This model has been precisely adjusted for production in small batches. Less automation and more skills are needed for that. And as a result of that extra value, companies using this model may charge more for their products. Custom configured. The goal of the custom configuration model is to offer unique setups for production and assembly. Flexible. It has the ability to respond to peaks in volume demand. On the other hand, can adapt to and withstand periods of low or no demand. Toggle it on or off as necessary. So that's all for what is supply chain management video. Hope you guys understood all the concepts. Thank you.
Logistics and supply chain management is a rapidly expanding sector. It is technologically driven subject in many worldwide industries and particularly in retail. According to a recent survey conducted by the Association for Supply Chain Management, 96% of those polled were extremely satisfied with their careers in supply chain management, with an average rating of 8.4 out of 10. The poll also discovered that getting certified pays off. SCM professionals with at least one qualification make 19% more than those who aren't certified, and those with 2 or 3 certificates earn 39 and 50% more than the median. So you can see the impact of certification in SCM job role. Now let's move forward and let's first understand what is exactly supply chain management. Supply chain management is an essential component of corporate operations in a variety of industries, including retail, healthcare, information technology, and construction. The supply chain is a network of production and distribution that firms and suppliers use to manufacture and deliver their products to the customers. Thus, supply chain management refers to the regulation of this network, the control of products, movement from manufacture to dispatch. Supply chain managers actually monitor every stage of the process, from purchase to manufacture and to the final product delivery. I hope so you have got some idea regarding what is exactly supply chain management. Now let's move forward and discuss why you should choose a career in logistics and supply chain management. Supply chain management is a fantastic career since it provides a lot of work options with decent pay and a lot to learn, providing favorable career growth because it is integrated with all other operations. It is one of the most diverse fields in the corporate sector. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, positions in supply chain management are expected to expand by 30% over the next 10 years. Now, the question is still the same. Why you should choose a career in supply chain management? And you have variety of reasons for that. And the first one is there is an exciting role in their organization. The supply chain encompasses every stage of a product's life cycle, from purchase to the distribution to the allocation to the delivery. The list goes on and on. With the arrival of new technologies like blockchain and cloud computing, your company will rely on you to foresee these market trends, ensuring the right personnel are the correct position that guarantee the parts arrive on time and be quick.
Let's start with our quiz question, guys. The question is, what is a common benefit of effective supply chain management? The options are option A, increased marketing efforts, option B, reduced operating cost, option C, improved office decor, option D, enhanced social media presence. I hope you have written the answers in the comment section. So let's move on to our next session. Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course, you will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management, and practical exercises, which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.
On your feet if they don't. You are the master of prioritization and task completion. Your knowledge and abilities enable everyone else's tasks to be fulfilled, which may be really very satisfying. The next is industry is growing very fast. Logistics is a constantly increasing profession that grew even in the worst of the crisis, that was the corona pandemic. The profession is now even more promising, with the Bureau of Labor Statistics expecting a 7% increase in the work opportunities between 2023 to 2030. Supply chain opportunities are expanding on the both sides, from worldwide sourcing of goods to the distribution to the sales and its fulfillment. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, supply chain employment are growing at twice the rate of all other jobs in the United States. This isn't simply a domestic tendency. Shortages of trained experts have been noted in few of the countries such as Hong Kong, China, and other Asian countries. Now, the next reason is that you have a very well-paying job opportunity. The median annual salary of a logistician in the United States is around $77,000, which is around $37 per hour. The lowest 10% made less than $45,000, while the richest 10% earned more than $122,000, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you can see there is a very good opportunity for a well-paying job. Now, the next reason is that it has relatively low barrier entry. Logistics provide professionals with the ability to obtain high-paying jobs without a graduate degree. Although some professions may require doctoral degrees or other forms of advanced training, most people with a bachelor degree can find work in logistics. There are few employment available for persons with associate degrees, but in general perspective, logisticians should pursue 4 years of post-secondary study. It is also a good field to enter if you are interested in professional development and advancement. Once you have gotten your foot in the door as a production or warehouse clerk, for example, you may continue your education and work your way up to become a logistics manager or a global commodities director, and you will get paid handsomely for it. The next reason you can look for is that you have abundant internship options. You can go for a lot of internships while pursuing your degree. And finally, you get a chance to travel abroad. I hope so you have got an idea about how to choose a career in supply chain management. Now, let's move forward and discuss that what skills do you need to start a career in supply chain management. The first reason is that relationship building and management skills. Developing and sustaining mutually productive connections with suppliers, partners, and customers is an essential component of any logistics and supply chain management function. To be successful as a supply chain manager, you must have a good communication and interpersonal skills, as well as the ability to bargain if your specific responsibilities entail purchasing or procurement. Next is you should have IT skills. In addition to be a strong working understanding of Microsoft Office suite, employment in logistics and supply chain management may include the use of specialized software such as ERP software. The next important skill which you might look for is the leadership skills. As a supply chain manager, you will not only manage operation but also supervise employees. At the university, you can take on a project or a team leadership task to help prepare you for the managing people in your future employment. And finally, you should possess the problem-solving skills. Processes must be constantly assessed and evaluated in logistics and supply chain management. It is your responsibility as a supply chain manager to make things flow more smoothly. As a result, great analytical and problem skills are required to succeed in the HCM function. Now, let's discuss one of the most important part, which is how to start a career in supply chain management. First is determine which part of supply chain management piques your interest. Supply chain managers are in charge of transportation of goods from the purchase of raw materials to the delivery of finished items. Different organizational responsibilities allow you to specialize in specialized areas such as purchasing, procurement, transportation, technology, and facilities. The first thing you should do is select an industry. A supply chain manager's responsibility will differ depending on the role, the organization, and the industry. Before you commit to one, make sure you research on the important components of logistics and supply chain management in various sectors. The next thing you can do is you have to earn a degree in a relevant discipline. A bachelor degree in a relevant area is required to pursue a career in logistics and supply chain management. Typically, this could be business administration or systems engineering. However, as a business grows and more graduates seek to enter it, many firms are searching for applicants with a specialized in logistics and supply chain management degree. You can go for MBA from any good business school in supply chain management and logistics. The next thing you can do is you can begin networking. If you don't have already one, now this is the time to create one and begin connecting with the supply chain management professionals. This will provide you with vital insight to what is to like work in supply chain management, and you may even lead to a job offer later on. You can interact with supply chain recruiters and HR professionals to obtain a better knowledge of their skills and experience required to secure a work as a supply chain manager. The next thing you can do is make an application for internship. Internships are a terrific way to obtain a real world experience while still in school and gain an advantage over job searchers is what becoming an increasingly competitive market. Because logistics is a fast increasing sector, there are many paid internships available, and you never know, you might be offered as a permanent position at the end of your internship. And finally, you can go for certification programs. You can go for certifications such as ISM Certified Professional in Supplier Diversity, NCMA Certified Professional Contract Manager, or you can go for Oracle e-Business Suite for 12 Supply Chain Certified Implementation Specialist. Now, I will discuss the Intellipaat Certifications Program. This is actually an advanced certification program which will help you to master the core concepts of digital supply chain management, such as supply chain framework, technology in procurement, inventory management, supply chain analytics, IoT, and big data in logistics. You can gain expertise in this technology. This course has been collaborated with the Ford School of Management and University of California, Riverside, which are one of the best educational institutes leading the path of providing quality academic training to the individual. FSM and USR were founded in 1981 and 1907 respectively. Both of these institutions have been working for decades with industry and academia for developing new domains of managerial thought and education, and thus contributing to building leaders in today's global business environment. Now I will discuss some tips and strategies so that you can start your career in the HCM role. The first thing is, what you should do is start learning. Learn and show the supply chain competencies, the skills and behavior which are basically required for supply chain role that you want to pursue. This can be broken down into three spheres. The first one is supply chain technical skills. Logistics, material management, procurement are all elements of supply chain management. To select which path you choose, conduct research to learn about each role and what it entails. The next thing you would need to learn is the soft skills, also known as the people skills, which includes communication, leadership, influence, and presenting abilities. This includes your emotional intelligence and how you interact with others in your business and your ability to network. The third is technology know-how. Understand the current and developing technologies and applications like cloud computing, the internet, and RPA robotic process automation, which will keep you updated on this newest technology, applications, and trends. This is not confined to the region which you have chosen to investigate, but to the whole image of what is going in the SCM. Next is, what you need to do is show supply chain competency in your current job. Understanding what you have and what you have to do with it is critical. Find or make a list of the supply chain skills and competencies that can be molded into your current job. Get active in supply chain projects such as improving material planning processes on the shop floor or participating in Kaizen events such as introducing batch order quantity, basically anything you can do to gain practical supply chain experience. And finally, you need to understand the roles and responsibilities. There are numerous responsibilities and classifications inside the supply chain. Therefore, it is critical to understand the various job categories and the roles that exist within them. So, there are commodity and category managers, buyers and supplier quality engineers for procurement roles. This is also the logistics and warehousing category, as well as additional specialized activities such as supply chain planning, demand planning, forecasting, and supply chain analyst. Each role and functionality has its own set of responsibilities and roles.
Now, moving ahead, let's talk about the logistic manager, like what is their work and what is the average salary in India and USA. So basically, logistic manager are responsible for planning and managing logistics, warehouse, and the other supply chain operations. And if we look into the salary or the compensation they offered in the market, so in India, the average salary is 8.5 lakhs per annum, whereas in USA it is $85,000. Now moving ahead, let's talk about purchasing manager. So basically the work or responsibility of a purchasing manager is for designing and managing purchasing strategies for the companies. Apart from that, if you talk about the salary, the average salary of purchasing manager in India is 20 lakh per annum, whereas in USA it is 1 lakh $32,000 per annum. Now moving ahead, we have process engineer. So basically process engineers are responsible for looking into the design, implementation and development of industrial processes in manufacturing companies. And if you talk about the salary, in India, the average salary of process engineer is 55 lakh per annum, whereas in USA it is 1 lakh $15,000. Now moving ahead, we have supply chain. So basically, the supply chain are responsible for analyzing supply chain data and performance. Apart from that, they are also responsible for identifying areas of improvement and implementing strategies to optimize processes. So these were the responsibility of supply chain. Apart from that, if you talk about the salary, the average salary of supply chain in India is 18 lakh per annum, whereas in USA it is 1 lakh $31,000 per annum. Moving ahead, we have transportation director. So basically transportation director is responsible for the oversee the movement and visibility of shipments and the overall transportation network with the supply chain. And if you talk about the salary, the average salary in India is 10 lakh per annum, whereas in USA it is $92,000 per annum. Now moving ahead, we have commodity manager. So basically work or the responsibility of a commodity manager is basically they focus on accessing and coordinating long-term supply commodity strategies. And if you talk about salary in India, they are paid 16 lakh per annum, whereas in USA it is 1 lakh $32,000 per annum. Now moving ahead, we have our next agenda, that is how to become supply chain manager. So in this, we will be talking about a step-by-step roadmap to become supply chain manager. So the very first step is getting a degree in supply chain management. So according to a report by Association of Supply Chain Management, nearly 85% of the supply chain professionals have a bachelor's degree in business studies. So you must get a bachelor's degree in business administration or logistics. Apart from that, if you talk about the master's degree, a master's degree in business administration is not necessary but can be beneficial to become a supply chain manager. Now, talking about the step two, learn relevant skills. So, to become a supply chain manager, it is essential to learn the technical and interpersonal skills. And these skills include inventory management, project management, risk management, cost accounting, IT and automation, market research. Apart from that, we have customer service and logistics. So these are the skills that you need to master to become a supply chain manager. Now, step three, we have network with others. So when it comes to the supply chain management, so networking with others is very important. Like one of the essential steps to become a supply chain manager is networking. So basically connecting with the professionals in the industry will definitely help you to secure a better opportunities. Apart from that, also you must create a network among the vendors and logistic partners. Moving ahead, the on step 4 is building a resume. So next you have to create an impressive resume by adding the relevant skills and experience. Apart from that, if you talk about next step, that is the step 5 is apply for internship. So one of the
Let's check our quiz question, guys. Which of the following is not a common activity in supply chain management? Option A, inventory management. Option B, transportation planning. Option C, marketing strategy development. Option D, supplier relationship management. I hope you have written answers in the comment section. So let's move on to our next session. Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course, we will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management, and practical exercises, which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.
best way to gain practical experience in supply chain management is to do internship in various companies of supply chain or logistic departments. So the next step, that is step 6, is choosing a specialization. So basically there are four categories in supply chain management field, and these are logistics, operations, planning, and production. So you can gain experience in any particular categories or work with the different departments to gain overall experience. Now moving ahead, the next step is gaining experience. Let me clear you guys one thing. If you are looking to apply for a manager role, then you must have a experience of 4 to 5 years in analyst, that is chain analyst or consultant. So once you gain the experience in this field, then you can good to go for the manager role. Apart from that, if you talk about the next step, that is certification, which is the most important. So, in addition to the relevant skills and experience, the professional certifications and licensing in supply chain management can also boost your career. So, some of the most popular international certifications in supply chain management are Association for the Supply Chain Management, that is ASCM, Certified Supply Chain Professional Certification, that is CSCP. Apart from that, you can also go for Institute for Supply Management, that is ISM. Also you can go for certified professional in supply chain management, that is CPSM. So these are the certification, and there is more certification that you can go for. Now we will put some light on a job outlook for the supply chain manager. So in USA there are more than 1,56,000 jobs available. Apart from that, if you talk about India, there are more than 17,000 jobs available right now, and the source is LinkedIn.
So hey everyone, this is the first video of supply chain management course, and in this video we will talk about the fundamentals of supply chain management. Now, before we understand anything about supply chain, you first have to understand some basic concept, and for that I'll be showing you three different products and we will understand how do these products reach at your doorstep. So the product number one is a normal toothpaste, and I'm sure you're using this product in your day-to-day life. The second product is ice cream, and the third product is iPhone. Now, if you closely observe these three different products, they have a different type of supply chain, and let's understand how do these products reach at your doorstep. Maybe let's pick just one product. Let's pick ice cream as a product, and let's understand how do ice cream as a product reach at your doorstep. So for every single product, if you observe the supply chain, all of that will start with a tier 2 supplier. So if you look at ice cream from any company like Varilal or Amul, in that case they have a lot of tier 2 supplier. So for an ice cream, the tier 2 supplier might be supplying milk or butter or some plastic granule so that they can make this cup. So a company like Reliance is supplying plastic granule, and a company like Amul might be supplying milk and butter, and all of these are tier 2 supplier. Then we have tier 1 supplier who is supplying the semi-finished good. So let's say a company might be mixing milk and butter and they are making a heavy cream which can be used in the manufacturing of ice cream. Or let's say there is one more company that is using these plastic granules and they are making these plastic cup. So these are all the tier 1 supplier that is supplying the semi-finished good. And then we have the ice cream manufacturer, that is Quality Walls in this case, and they are manufacturing the ice cream. And once the manufacturing process is done, then probably they will use some distributor in order to distribute the product. And obviously they are selling these products with the help of retailer. This can be an online retailer or this can be an offline retailer. And consumer like us are purchasing these products. And that's a normal supply chain of ice cream. Although this is a very simplified way to explain the supply chain, in real world supply chain can be super complex, but this is how a product normally reaches to our doorstep. So let's understand what exactly is supply chain. So supply chain is a network of individuals and companies who are involved in creating a product and delivering that product to the consumer. So if you closely observe this definition, you will find two important keywords: individuals and companies that are involved in creating and delivering a product to the end consumer. So let's look at these individuals first. Who are these individuals that are involved in a supply chain? So if you look at ice cream as a product, then you will look at individuals like farmers who are providing milk and other raw material to the company. And if you look at companies as an entity, then you will have companies like Amul that might be providing raw material or semi-finished good. And then you will have a manufacturer that is actually manufacturing the product, that is Quality Walls in this case, because they are the ice cream manufacturer and it's a company that is creating a product. And then you have some delivery partners who are delivering the product to the end consumer, and this can be a shopkeeper or an online retailer or maybe a delivery guy. So these are all the people or the partners that are there in supply chain. Now let's look at a normal supply chain. So if you look at any supply chain, all of those supply chains starts from a raw material manufacturer that is supplying some raw material to a supplier. Then these suppliers are further supplying the raw material to a manufacturer, and the manufacturer is using the raw material and manufacturing a specific product. And once the product is ready, after that, the manufacturer is using these distributors to distribute the product across different retailers. And finally, these retailers will try to sell their product to the end consumer. So if you broadly look at any supply chain, it will have three important steps. In step number 1, your supply chain begins with the vendor or the supplier that is providing the raw material. At step number 2, your manufacturer will then convert the raw material into a product that is ready to sell. And in step number 3, the distributor, which use the intermediaries like a wholesaler or a retailer or a distributor or even a internet e-commerce company to distribute the product, so that the product can reach to the end consumer. And that's a typical oversimplified supply chain that you will see across any product that you use in your day-to-day life. Let's look at the supply chain of a FMCG company like P&G or Unilever. FMCG stands for fast moving consumer goods. So all the day-to-day product that we use in our daily life, like a shampoo or hair oil, all of these are FMCG product. So let's look at the supply chain of a FMCG brand like P&G and Unilever. So all of these companies have some tier 2 supplier who is supplying raw material in order to make a product. So either they are using the raw material itself, or they might be taking help from some other tier 1 supplier in order to procure the semi-finished good. And once they have all of the ingredient or raw material that is required to manufacture a product, then they will manufacture it, and then they will take some help from distributor, and then they will distribute these product to a retailer, and finally the retailer will sell these product to the end consumer. So if you closely look at this supply chain, normally a product will go from a tier 2 supplier to an end consumer, and this is the forward flow of material and goods. If there is a defect in the product, or if the consumer is not liking the product, then it will follow a reverse flow of material and good. then it will go from an end consumer back to the manufacturer. Then if you look at the flow of money or the cash flow, that always goes in the backward direction from an end consumer to your manufacturer and then back to tier 1 and tier 2 supplier. Because normally in a typical supply chain, the transaction doesn't happen in cash. All of these distributor, tier 1, tier 2 supplier work on credit basis. And that's why the flow of money is in the backward direction. And in the end, we have the flow of information that is there in both the direction. So a consumer might be giving feedback to the company, and the company might be asking some question to distributor and retailer about what exactly the consumer want. So the flow of information is in both the direction. So if you closely observe these different types of supply chain for an ice cream or for an FMCG brand, then you will understand that a supply chain of an ice cream is not equal to the supply chain of an iPhone. Because in case of an ice cream, the product is perishable, you quickly have to consume the product, and you also need to maintain a specific temperature to make sure that the product is in the good quality. While in case of iPhone, you can have a centralized manufacturing facility somewhere in China, and then you can supply your product across different countries around the world. And different product can have different supply chain and partners. So these are all the fundamental concepts you need to learn in supply chain. And in this video, we learned about the tier 1 supplier, the tier 2 supplier, manufacturer, retailer, distributor, and end consumer. In the next video, let's understand about the supply chain management and their key concept that you need to know. So hey everyone, in this video, we will understand about the key concept you need to know in supply chain management. And in this case, we'll be taking an example of maybe ice cream or a brand like Haldiram, and let's understand about it. I mean, the product is not important, but you need to understand about all the key components and maybe the different key concept you need to learn in supply chain management. And this diagram can help you learn all the key components of a supply chain. So at first, the supply chain always starts with planning. So as a company, you'll be manufacturing a specific product only when there's a demand of that product. So the first part of supply chain starts with the demand forecasting. So as a company, you need to understand how much of demand will be there in the future for your specific product. And that's where planning comes into the picture. Then we have sourcing. Once you know that you have to manufacture a specific quantity of a product, after that you have to source the raw material or the semi-finished good so that you can start manufacturing a product. And in that case, you have to talk to multiple supplier or partners. So the first part is planning, and you have to do a demand planning. And your planning also depends on the future forecasting. So let's say if you are selling ice cream in the market, in that case, you will forecast the temperature in summer. And obviously, if you have a higher temperature for a certain period of time, in that case, you can sell more ice cream. So your demand of ice cream is directly proportional to the temperature in summer. And that's where you need to do a little bit of planning. Then we have sourcing. So you have to source the right quantity of product at the right price. And you also need to make sure that the vendor is able to fulfill that quantity in the given period of time. And the third part is production, where you need to manufacture a specific product. Once your product is ready, now you have to do inventory management. So maintaining a called supply chain or managing proper inventory across different warehouses you have. That's the fourth key component of any supply chain management. And that's the fourth key component of supply chain management. Then we have logistic. So you need to make sure that your product is reaching to the end retailer. Now these retailer can be an online retailer or retail shop or maybe an ice cream vending rickshaw. So you need to make sure that the product is reaching to these end retailer so that the consumer can purchase your product. So these are all the different components of supply chain management. At first, you have to do planning, then you have to do sourcing of raw material and semi-finished good, then you have to do production or you have to manufacture the specific product, then you have to do inventory management, and finally logistic. So these are all the key components or key concept of supply chain management. Now, if you look at ice cream as a product, then procuring raw material, handling inbound logistic, and storing goods in your warehouse is a part of procurement process. So normally companies have a procurement department that deals with raw material procurement, inbound logistic, and storing the raw material in the warehouse. And apart from procurement, a company normally have an operation management department that deals with manufacturing, outbound logistic from the warehouse, and maybe distributing the product to the end consumer. This is the operation management part. And a company can normally divide a supply chain of a product into two broader department or parts. So let's understand about all of these different key components or key concept in supply chain management. Let's start with planning. So you need to plan and manage the sourcing of raw material. So you first have to do a demand planning, and for that you need to figure out how much demand will be there in the future for your specific product. And once you know about that specific demand, then you also need to understand about the lead time management, that if I have to manufacture, let's say 1000 quantity of a product, how much time will it take for me to procure the raw material from a raw material supplier, so that you can avoid the stock out situation. Because if there is a sudden spike in the demand from the consumer side, then you would not be able to fulfill that. So that's your planning part. The second part is sourcing, where you need to choose the supplier that can provide you a specific goods or service. So you need to choose the right vendor that is offering you the right price of these product. And you also need to identify whether those people have the capacity to deliver the required volume that you need as a company. And third, you need to understand about the turnaround time, which means in how much time can they deliver the product. So when you're sourcing the product, you need to work on these three things. You need to find the right vendor that is offering the right price or the ideal price. You need to understand about their capacity to deliver, whether they are able to deliver the required volume that you need or not, and what's the turnaround time of the company. At third, we have the manufacturing process, where you organize the activities around accepting the raw material. So you may have a quality assessment team in your company that is assessing the quality of the raw material. Then they will start the manufacturing process, and once the product is ready, then they again have to test the quality, and finally they will pack, pick and ship the product so that they can deliver that product to the end consumer. And obviously, as a company, you have to maintain some stock. So inventory management is also there. So you have to manage inventory for the raw material as well. So let's say if you are manufacturing a specific product and if you're not maintaining any raw material inventory, in that case, if you have any issue with the supplier, then obviously your complete process of manufacturing will stop. And similarly, you also need to maintain the inventory for the finished and semi-finished good. And in inventory management, you also need to understand a little about the inventory turnover ratio. And we will talk about all of these things in the coming videos. Now, once you have a proper inventory management system in your company of the raw material and the semi-finished or the finished good that you are producing in your company, then we have to understand about the delivery and the logistic part, where you will be coordinating with different customer order, you'll be scheduling their deliveries, dispatching the load, and maybe handling the invoice of the customer and maybe receiving the payment from them. And in this, you'll be working on storage spaces, volumes, and logistic cost. And once you have delivered the product to the end consumer, then you also need to handle return, where you need to create a network or the process so that you can take back the defective or the excessive or unwanted product that you have pushed into the supply chain. So if I conclude this video, when we talk about the different component of supply chain management, or I would say the key concept you need to understand, in that case, you need to know about the logistic management, demand planning, in order to understand how much demand will be there in the future. Then you also need to understand about inventory management, and then we have product life cycle and pricing, finance and accounting, and procurement. So these are all the different components of supply chain management, or maybe key concept you need to understand. So hey everyone, in this video we will talk about the fourth industrial revolution, or also known as Industry 4.0. So if you closely look at this diagram, then we have Industrial Revolution 1.0, that is also known as mechanization, where we started the mechanical production facility using water and steam power. So if you look at the first mechanical loom machine that was developed in 1984, that was a good example of Industrial Revolution 1.0. And this was the end of 18th century. Then we had Industrial Revolution 2.0, where we started producing product in mass quantity based on the division of labor and with the help of electrical energy. So we had a first production line in around 1870. Then we had Industrial Revolution 3.0, that was all about automation. So we were using electronics and information technology to further automate the production process. And now we have Industry Revolution 4.0, where
Let's check out our quiz question, guys. Which of the following is a benefit of using technology to improve operational efficiency? Option A, reduce manual errors. Option B, increases labor cost. Option C, slows down processes. Option D, decreases productivity. So now let's move on to our next session. Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course, we will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management, and practical exercises, which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.
we have a digital physical system where we will use the cyber physical technology. And in this Industry 4.0, we will have a great connectivity of people, machine, and real-time data. So the underlying technology of Industry 4.0 will be IoT, machine learning, and big data. And in the coming few videos, we will understand how we can automate a warehouse with the help of RFID sensors that you can put on a specific product or on a vehicle. And how can you use a large amount of data set in order to forecast the demand in the future. So we'll be using big data forecasting model, we'll be understanding about IoT devices and maybe the machine learning model that you can use in this Industry 4.0 era. And we will understand about all of those things in the coming videos. So if I summarize the Industry 4.0 in a single statement, so if I summarize Industry 4.0, basically it refers to the current and the developing environment in which digital technologies are changing the way we live and work. And more commonly, we use Industry 4.0 in industrial and operational context. So hey everyone, in this video, we will understand about the usage of technology in operational efficiency. And to understand this, let's take an example of a supermarket and let's understand how you can achieve operational efficiency by using technology. There are many problems that you will face in a supermarket, and one of the problems that you will normally face is inventory management. Now, the first part of inventory management is discovery. Let's say a customer wants a specific type of product and you have thousands of products in your supermarket. It'll be difficult for you to say yes or no to the customer if you don't really have an inventory management system in your warehouse. So if you use technology, you can simply paste a QR code on the product and then you can simply give them a yes and no if they want a specific product. So if you use technology inventory management, then it can help you in discovery of a product. Second thing is the reorder point. Let's say you have ordered a specific quantity of product in your supermarket and so many customers have purchased the product. If you are not using technology, in that case, you will never know what's the reorder point. So let's say if you have purchased 20 quantity of a product and if the stock level is going below 5 quantity, in that case, if you're using technology or an ERP system, then it will automatically place an order, and that is also known as your reorder point. The third one is cost. If you're not using technology to manage inventory in your supermarket, in that case, you will never know how much worth of inventory you have in your warehouse or in your supermarket, and that's your holding cost. So if you use technology, then you can achieve operational efficiency and it can solve the problem of discovery, reorder point, and holding cost. So in short, an inventory management system can help you run an efficient warehouse by ensuring that you have the right level of stock. So now that you understand all the problems we face if we are not using technology in managing inventory in our supermarket, let's understand how we can solve the problem if we use some sort of technology in our supermarket. The first thing that you do when you're implementing technology in order to achieve operational efficiency in the supermarket is to get GTIN, which is your global identification number, and you will also get a barcode that you need to put on every single product. So every time you have an incoming inventory, you will simply put a barcode that will have information related to the product name, the variant, the brand name, a unique ID of the product, at what price you are selling the product in your supermarket, and the expiry date of the product. So you are entering all of these details every time you have some incoming inventory in your supermarket. The third thing you do is to scan this barcode every time the inventory is going out of your warehouse or there is a warehouse transfer. Let's say if you have multiple retail store and if you're transferring a specific inventory to a different retail store or to a different warehouse, then you can also do that. And there are multiple techniques that you can also use in these ERP or technology software. So you have techniques like ABC analysis, economic order quantity, safety stock, and reorder point. And we have a dedicated video on all of these topics. So in the coming video, we will understand about ABC inventory management, ABC XYZ inventory management, how will you decide a economic order quantity, what is safety stock, and reorder point. So we have a dedicated video on all of these topics. And these are all the technique that you use with the help of technology in order to achieve operational efficiency. Now that was about inventory management. Now let's understand few more use cases where you can use the technology to achieve operational efficiency. So the second use case is dashboard and metrics. So as a store manager or as a branch manager or maybe an area manager, you need to track every single metrics in all the retail store or in all the supermarket. So with the help of technology in real time, you can look at all of these different metrics, like how much revenue a specific supermarket or store is generating every single day or every single week. What's the margin that you will have? What's the cash flow? Because obviously that is also very important for running a business. What is the on-time delivery if you're delivering the product to the end consumer? So hey everyone, in this video, we will talk about decision making in supply chain. So if you are working as a supply chain manager, then you'll be making the range of decision from moving goods to warehouse of a supplier to the end consumer. So let's talk about the 4 important type of decision that you'll be making as a supply chain manager or maybe as a supply chain associate. The first one could be the transportation decision. or the type of transportation or the mode of transportation decision you have to make, and what is the route that you have to follow. So that's your transportation decision. The second could be inventory decision. So if you are a warehouse manager or a supply chain manager, then you have to take decision on when to buy a specific product and how much to buy, and that'll be your inventory decision. The third type of decision you have to take as a supply chain manager or associate could be your production decision. That means when to produce a specific product and how much to produce. And fourth would be the location decision, where you have to take decision related to the location of the warehouse or the distribution center or maybe the manufacturing plant. Now, obviously, all of these decisions would be taken by different people. So let's say a transportation decision could be taken by a logistic manager, inventory decision could be taken by a warehouse manager, a production decision could be taken by a project manager, or maybe the line manager, and maybe the location decision is taken by a finance lead or someone in the core strategic team. Let's start with production decision. So in production, you have to take decisions related to how much to produce and when to produce. Let's talk about how much to produce. Now, in a normal warehouse, if you produce less of a product, in that case, you will run out of stock every time you have a demand fluctuation from a supplier or from a consumer side. So in that case, you have to maintain some inventory. But if you maintain more of an inventory in your warehouse, then it will increase your inventory holding cost. So in this case, you have to maintain an economic order quantity, where you have to constantly produce a specific amount of product, but you also need to ensure that you're not holding so much of inventory. Now, the second part of production decision is when to produce. And in when to produce decision, you'll be looking at the lead time. So in every single step of the production process, you will have some lead time. So if you look at this diagram, the supplier is supplying some raw material to a production or a manufacturing company, and this will have a specific lead time. Maybe the supplier need X amount of days to deliver the product to a manufacturer, and the manufacturer will take maybe Y amount of days to manufacture a product, and then they will ship the product and deliver it to the end retailer in Z number of days. So this is your lead time, and you need to plan your manufacturing in such a way that you are considering the lead time, that the total lead time could be around 90 days. So we have to produce this product 90 days in prior so that we can ensure the delivery of the product in the timely manner to an end consumer or an end retailer. So this is your when to produce decision. So as a production manager, you have to take two decisions about how much to produce and when to produce a specific product. Now, I'm just giving you a high level overview of this concept. We have a dedicated video on economic order quantity and lead time management. And in those videos, I will help you understand how can you calculate your economic order quantity and how can you manage your lead time. Now let's understand the second decision-making part in supply chain, that is related to inventory decision. When we talk about decisions related to inventory, you have two main decisions that you have to take as a warehouse manager or as a store manager who is managing the inventory. The first decision could be how much to store, and the second decision is when to replenish the stock. Let's talk about the first decision, that is how much to store. So let's say if you're storing more of a specific product in your retail store, in that case, your inventory holding cost will be high and you will have less cash flow in your business. But if you're storing less number of product in your retail store, in that case, you will have shortage cost or you will lose out on revenue. So you have to balance out the holding cost and the shortage cost. Let's talk about when to replenish a specific stock. And to do that, you have to understand about the reorder point or the reorder quantity. And we have a dedicated video on that, on how can you set a reorder point, and every time your inventory level goes below or maybe touch that specific reorder point, you have to place a new order considering the lead time. So let's say if you have 30 product in your retail store, and every time you're selling, let's say 5 product every single day. So if you have 15 product remaining in your warehouse and the lead time is 3 days, in that case, the time your stock hit the level of 15 product in your store, you have to place the order, because it will take 3 days for a supplier to supply the product to your warehouse. So we have a dedicated video on this specific concept, so you don't really have to worry about this now. But the third important decision making that happens in supply chain is related to transportation decision, which includes decisions related to the type of transportation you need to choose. So whether you need to choose air, land, or ship as a mode of transportation when you're transporting the product or shipping the product from one location to a different location. You have to decide about the routing or which routes to follow. And the third one is related to scheduling, which means when will the goods be transported to a specific supplier or a partner. So these will be the 3 transportation decisions you have to take. Now let's understand all those factors that will impact the transportation decision. So if you look at 2 extreme end, we have functional product like a tissue paper and an innovative product like an iPhone. So if you look at a functional product like a tissue paper, then obviously the price of this product is very less, and you need to have a manufacturing facility in every single city so that you can supply this tissue paper to every single retail store or to a supermarket. In case of an innovative product, the product price is very high, and in this case you can use a centralized manufacturing facility and you can use air as a mode of transport. But in tissue paper, you have to use land or ship as a mode of transport. Then you have gross margin. So in case of an innovative product like iPhone, the gross margins are very high. So you have to use the fastest supply chain. But in case of a functional product, the gross margin is very less. And then you have lead time. So all of these factors are impacting the decision related to transportation. So when it comes to the type of transportation route to choose, then in case of tissue paper, you will choose a route that is most affordable. That is obviously ship or land instead of choosing air as a route. In case of scheduling, you will have a higher lead time for tissue paper when compared with iPhone. So these are all the factors that will impact the transportation decision. Now let's talk about the location decision. So let's say you are working in a company like Amazon and you have to open new fulfillment center in Delhi NCR. And let's say you have 0 fulfillment center for now. So where will you open your fulfillment center? If you look at this map, then you will simply say that, okay, Delhi is surrounded by 3 different states, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and Rajasthan. So you need a fulfillment center near to Sonipat where you can supply all of these products to places like Rohtak and Sonipat apart from Delhi. Then you may need a fulfillment center in Uttar Pradesh near Meerut where you can supply all of these products to Delhi and Meerut. And you may need a fulfillment center somewhere near Gurgaon because you can supply the product in Haryana, Gurgaon, Rewari, Faridabad apart from Delhi. So at first you will open 3 different fulfillment center in 3 different locations. Now, if you look at Amazon as a company, they have 9 fulfillment center in Delhi NCR. And if I'll give you a couple of stats, then they have 1.5 lakh sellers in NCR, 5.5 million cubic feet of storage capacity across these 9 fulfillment center, and they have 3 sorting center. Now, let's look at all the factors that will decide the location of these fulfillment center. The first factor could be the customer demand. So obviously you will open a fulfillment center only when there is a customer demand in that specific area. So your location.
Let's check out our quiz question, guys. What is the key benefit of effective decision making in supply chain management? Increases marketing research, improve product quality, reduces operational cost, and option D enhances customer loyalty. I hope you have written answers in the comment section. So let's move on to our next session. Just a quick info guys, Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course you will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management and practical exercises which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.
Decision to open a new fulfillment center will be decided by the customer demand, the supplier location, and the transportation cost. So if you have more number of supplier that are selling the product using Amazon, then obviously they need some storage capacity, and that's where Amazon provide them a fulfillment center. So from this fulfillment center, these suppliers can store their product, and as soon as a customer places an order, Amazon will simply deliver the product from this fulfillment center, and they also need to ensure the transportation cost. So these are all the 4 decisions that a manager needs to make in supply chain. So you have transportation decision, inventory decision, location decision, and product decision. So hey everyone, my name is Navdeep, and in this video, we will understand about the goal of supply chain management. Now before we understand about the goal of supply chain management, let's understand about purpose, vision, goal, objective, and all the metrics that we will be using to measure this specific objective. Now, before we jump into supply chain, let's understand all of these important terms with the help of a normal consumer brand. Let's say you are building a normal consumer brand where you are selling all of these normal products. Now, your vision or purpose is to revolutionize a specific industry or segment. Now, the way you will reach a specific milestone or a goal is by using these objectives. So, if you wanted to create amazing storytelling experience for people, in that case you have to publish content every single day, because now you wanted to increase the community by 50%, engagement by 100%, or amplification by 50%. That's your objective, and the way you measure your objective is with the help of these specific metrics: the number of blog that you are publishing for that specific brand, the number of followers you have, the number of interactions, the comment on the blog, or let's say the number of mentions and the number of share. So that's the main purpose of having goal, objective, and the metrics that will support a specific objective. Now let's quickly move to the supply chain, because I feel this is not a human resource management course. So we'll talk about this sometime later, but let's jump straight into the goal of supply chain management. So goals are achievable, long-term, and broad things you have in mind. On the other side, objective are specific and measurable action to achieve a specific goal. And the way you measure these objectives is with the help of these metrics. And we will talk about all the metrics that is required in supply chain a little later in the course. But you achieve these specific goal with the help of objective, and the way you measure these objectives is with the help of metrics. Now the main goal of a supply chain is to make it efficient, and the way you do it is by removing all the friction across all the processes, from procurement to manufacturing to logistic to reverse logistic and to fulfillment. Now let's understand the primary goal of a supply chain. Now the main goal of a supply chain is to make sure that the right kind of product is reaching to the right place in the right quantity at the right time, making sure that the quality of the product is good and the cost is also minimum. And to achieve this specific goal, you have to set a certain level of objective. So if you look at the objective of a supply chain, we will be using a simple 3V framework to understand the objective of supply. So if you look at the objective of a supply chain, we will be using a simple 3V framework to understand the objective of supply chain. So this simple 3V framework is made up of variability, visibility, and velocity. And let's take an example of an e-commerce brand like Amazon to understand this simple 3V framework. Let's talk about visibility. Now, visibility is the ability to view important information throughout the supply chain. So from order tracking to fleet management to stock management, you need to have a high level overview of every single processes that is happening in your supply chain. If we understand that with the help of one example, from the time you place an order on Amazon to the time you receive the product, you can see every single matrix inside the Amazon app. Now, when you place an order, you always have a consumer side interface and a business side interface. So as a consumer, you always have a visibility of your order. So you can check whether your order is dispatched or not, what is the status of your order, and when will the order reach to your doorstep. As a business, Amazon have a visibility across all the people who are handling that specific order in the warehouse, where exactly that specific product is placed in their warehouse, and how much time will it take for them to fulfill that specific order. That's visibility, and it is super important if you wanted to achieve a specific objective. The second one is the velocity. Now, velocity simply means that you are increasing the speed of transaction. When I'm saying the speed of transaction, that doesn't mean the financial transaction. Anytime a product moves from one department to another department or from one person to another person, that's the transaction. So you need to make sure that your transaction speed is high, the product is moving fast across the supply chain so that you can increase your asset turnover ratio and you can also reduce down your order to delivery time. Again, these are super important metrics like your asset turnover ratio, inventory turnover ratio, order to delivery time. And we will talk about all of these metrics in the coming video. But let's understand this with the help of an example. In case of Amazon, if you have faster order to delivery time, people will feel happy because the order is reaching to their doorstep within a day. That further means that you have a higher asset turnover ratio because whatever inventory you have in your warehouse, that is quickly getting fulfilled to the end consumer. Now you can procure more inventory and the customer is also very happy because he's getting an order in a day. That's your velocity. And the way by which you can reduce the time of a specific order is by opening all of these distribution center or your warehouses. So if you're living in a metro city, then there's a very high chance that you might be having an Amazon warehouse very close to your place or very close to your city. So Amazon opened all of these distribution center, and if you ever search on Amazon, you normally see a prime product or a badge like bestseller. The main reason Amazon always have a top selling product whenever you search for any specific product is because Amazon can store that specific product in all of their distribution center, which is very close to your city. So let's say if I wanted to purchase a mouse, in that case, out of let's say maybe 2,000 different types of mouse that are available on Amazon, maybe 5 or 10 of them are top selling mouse. And the reason Amazon always try to have some product in their top selling category or let's say in their prime umbrella is that all of these products are available in the nearby distribution center or warehouse so that Amazon can fulfill this specific product within a day. And that's the beauty of having a catalog limitation in terms of top selling product or let's say Amazon Prime product. And Amazon always try to stick you into their platform using an umbrella, that is your Prime umbrella. And we'll talk about that in the next slide. So let's understand about the main reason why you are placing almost all of your order from Amazon. Obviously, this is not a part of the supply chain course. This is a part of my 31 different types of business model course. And in that course, I have explained almost 31 different types of business model of Fortune 500 companies. But while I was making this supply chain course, I realized that it's great if I can just explain you how exactly Amazon is so special and how they are able to fulfill their orders so fast. So let's say the growth of any company is powered by the low cost structure that they can maintain. Same goes with Walmart, same goes with Amazon. The lower the prices you have on your platform, more and more people will place an order. That's very obvious. So the way a company grows is by maintaining a low cost structure. And the way you maintain a low cost structure is by reducing down the price of the product. And if you have low prices of all these different products on your platform, then the customer experience will be amazing. If you have an amazing customer experience, in that case, you attract more and more people on your platform. So your traffic will also increase. If your traffic will increase, obviously you can easily onboard more and more number of sellers because now you're having more number of customer. If you have more number of sellers who are coming to your platform and they are selling all of their product, in that case, it will help you broaden your selection. Selection means variety. So you will have more variety on your platform. Now, because you have more variety on your platform, because you have more number of seller and they are competing with each other in terms of price, that will again reduce down your prices. And that will finally give a good experience to the customer. And again, it will also increase the traffic. And that's a flywheel, that's a vicious cycle. And that is why Amazon is able to provide all of these products at such a cheaper price. Let's come back to our same concept of supply chain objective. The third objective of supply chain is to reduce variability. Now, variability is basically a natural tendency of a business to fluctuate above or below average value. And a variability can be seen in a business maybe in the form of lead time, or let's say demand variability or defect rate. And let me simplify this for you. So if you go to Amazon, you normally see this specific option, subscribe and save. So you have 10% or 15% discount that you will get if you subscribe to this specific type of product. But why Amazon do that? Why they give you 5 or let's say 15% of discount when you subscribe to this specific product? And the simple reason is they always try to reduce down the variability in the business. So let's say if 1,000 people subscribe for a specific type of product in an area, they can always maintain a specific buffer stock or safety stock for those people. And then they can add a specific amount of stock as well. So you have two types of variability in a business. You have lead time variability and demand variability. So let's say if a supplier is not delivering the product on time, that's a lead time variability. On the other side, if you have sudden spike of demand for a specific product from the customer end, that's a demand variability. Obviously with subscribe and save, they are reducing the variability and they are also maintaining a specific safety stock in the nearby warehouse or distribution center. So that was the 3V framework by which you can achieve a specific supply chain objective. And the 3 V's were variability, velocity, and visibility. Now let's understand about all these metrics that will back these objectives. Now the other strategy that you can also use to reduce down the variability is by maintaining safety stock, including back order or avoiding bullwhip. And we'll talk about these things in the coming videos. So you can just ignore this for a while. But let's talk about all the supply chain KPIs and metrics that will support the supply chain objective. And we will talk about all of these things in the coming videos. We will discuss about at least 10 to 12 metrics or KPIs that you need to understand. But few of them is your inventory days of supply, supply chain cost by sales, your inventory turnover ratio, on-time deliveries, your annual supply chain cost to sales ratio, and all of that. And we will go deep into all of these KPIs and metrics in the coming videos. But I hope you got the point. You first focus on your purpose or your vision, then you achieve a specific milestone or goal. And the way you do that is by setting a specific objective and you measure all of these things with the help of these different metrics or KPIs. So a mission statement talks about the fundamental reason why you came into this business. So it will help you understand about the purpose for existing into the business. Now, if I'll give you a small example, then let's say a company like XYZ wants to make the most compelling car of 21st century. That means as a company, you wanted to create most compelling car. That's your mission. I mean, that's the fundamental reason why you exist today. You wanted to revolutionize the car manufacturing industry. So if I combine the mission statement and the vision statement, then the mission statement explains the company's reason for being present, while the vision statement gives its purpose for the future. And these two, mission and the vision statement, will define the overall future, or I would say the overall growth strategy of any company. Now let's talk about the features of a mission. So a mission must be feasible and attainable, and it is possible for a company to achieve it. Also, it should be clear enough so that action can be taken by the people who are working in the company, or the senior executive team can work toward achieving this specific mission. Also, it should be inspiring, which is obvious because if it is not inspiring management, staff, and people, then there's no purpose of having a mission statement. Then it should be precise enough, which means it should neither be too broad for a person to understand or nor too narrow. Also, it should be unique and distinct so that it can leave an impact in everybody's mind. Also, it should be analytical and it should analyze the key components of your strategy. And in the end, it should be credible so that all stakeholders should be able to believe on a mission that a company wanted to achieve. So these are all the features of mission statement. You don't really have to remember these features, but I was just covering these features in case if you end up working with a senior management team in writing about the mission, the vision, and the goals of a company, or let's say a startup if you are creating. Now let's pick a company because I love giving example, and let's look at the vision and the mission statement of a company, and after that we will discuss about the goals and the objective. So let's pick Tesla Motors. If you look at the vision statement of Tesla, then their vision is to accelerate the world's transition into sustainable energy. If you look at their mission statement, then they want to create the most compelling car of 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicle. Now, if you closely observe their vision statement, you will realize that this is their 5 to 10 year goal that they have in mind. But if you look at their mission statement, then you will realize that this is the fundamental reason why the company exists today. Because they wanted to create the most compelling car company of 21st century. And they do it by driving the world's transition into electric vehicle. And that's their mission statement. So vision is long term and mission is what exactly they wanted to do as a company. Let's look at Google as an example. Let's look at their vision statement. So the vision statement of Google is to provide access to the world's information in one click. If you look at their mission statement, well, they want to organize the world's information and making it universally available and useful. And that's their mission statement. That means why the company exists today. That's the mission, and what they wanted to do in the next 5 to 10 years, or let's say in 20 years, that's their vision. Let's look at Amazon as an example. The vision statement of Amazon is to be the world's most customer-centric company, and they wanted to build a place where people can visit and find and discover anything they might wanted to buy online. If you look at their mission statement, well, they strive to offer the lowest price possible to customer with the best available selection and at the utmost convenience. That's their mission statement. So I hope after watching these many videos, you'll be able to understand about the vision statement and the mission statement. Now let's discuss about the goals and objective in the next video. So hey everyone, my name is Navdeep, and in this video, we will discuss about mission statement, vision.
Let's check out our quiz question, guys. What is one common benefit of having a clear vision, mission, and a goal in a supply chain? Option A, improved customer satisfaction. Option B, increased employee turnover. Option C, higher inventory cost. And option D is slower decision making. I hope you have written the answers in the comment section. So now let's move on to our next session. Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course, we will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management, and practical exercises, which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.
Goals and objective. But before we discuss about these things, let's understand why do we need these things at the first place. So in the last video, we were discussing a lot about the corporate level, the business level, and the functional level strategy. So your entire corporate level and functional level strategy will work towards achieving these vision, mission, goals, and objective. And that's why we need to understand these topics. Because if you look at all the senior executive of your company, whether he is a CFO or CEO of the company, they are inspired by these vision and mission statement. And that's why we have to understand about these vision and mission statement so that you can inspire all of your team members and employees so that they can chase a common goal instead of going into random direction. So to understand mission, vision, and goal, let's look at this specific diagram. So a vision statement will paint the future in your company for next 5 to 10 years. So anytime you join a company, you may find them having a vision statement in their office or on the wall. And if you look at that specific vision statement, you will find that those people are painting the future of the company in next 5 to 10 years. And that's their vision statement. I mean, as a company, they wanted to go to that specific point because that's their vision. Then you have your mission statement. And mission statement will help you understand fundamentally the reason why the company exists today. So what they do exactly at this point of time and why they are doing that. And that's your mission statement. Now, in order to go from this mission to that specific vision, you have to have some goals and objective. So these goals are the future state of an organization. That means you normally set these smaller goals and you will achieve these goals so that you can reach to your vision. So you start with your mission. That's your fundamental reason why you exist today as a business. And you have to achieve your vision in the next 5 to 10 years. And you do that by setting smaller goals. And you achieve those goals by having these objectives. So let's discuss about vision statement first. And then we will discuss about mission, goals, and objective. So a vision statement paints a picture of where you are going and why you want to go there as a company. And as you know, a vision statement normally paints the future of your company for next 5 to 10 years. So let's say if you are someone who wanted to understand about the vision statement, or let's say if you are working with the executive in order to make the vision statement for a company, in that case, you have to understand 2 core pillars of a vision statement: where and why. So you have to ask yourself, where are you going as a company, and what does success looks like in the future for your company? Now let's understand these 2 points with the help of one example, because I love giving example. So let's say you're starting out your career working in an EV company, then your vision statement will look something like this: that your company XYZ wanted to be a leader in the manufacturing of electric vehicle. That's your vision statement. That means your main aim is to become a leader in the manufacturing of an electric vehicle. Now, if you look at this vision statement, you will realize that a vision statement is normally short and brief. It is written in simple language. That means it doesn't have any jargons or any complicated word that is hard for a normal person to understand. It is crystal clear and it should complete all the aspect of your business. So if you look at this vision statement, they want to be a market leader in the manufacturing of an electric vehicle. So they have specifically highlighted their position by doing something in a specific segment. So leader in the manufacturing of electric vehicle. Then it is also non-ambiguous and non-conflicting, and it should motivate the employees. So that's your vision statement. Now this vision statement fits really well for a company like Tesla, but I will not pick a company specifically for this video. But let's talk about the mission statement now. So from the last 2 videos, we were discussing a lot about the vision statement and mission statement. In this video, we're going to talk about goals and objectives. So goal is the future state of your company, and objective are the specific action that you will take as a company in order to achieve these goals. And I know this definition may sound a little confusing, so let me try to simplify this by giving you some example. So let's say as a company, your goal is to increase the revenue by 10% and you wanted to decrease the waste reduction by 5%. And that's a very realistic goal as a company. Now let's talk about objective. Now objective are all the specific action that you will take in order to achieve these goals. So your first objective in order to achieve the goal, that's your 10% increase in revenue and 5% reduction in waste, is that you can just add 5 new customer and you can retain the existing 2 customer and you can simply increase your revenue by 10%. So if you're adding 5 new customer, let's say if you're selling a software product, so in that case, you can acquire 5 new customer and you can retain 2 customer, and that's how you'd be able to increase your revenue by 10%. That's your objective number 1, by which you can achieve the first part of your goal. Now, in order to achieve the second part of your goal, you have your objective number 2. So our goal is to decrease down the waste reduction by 5%. Now, if you wanted to reduce down the waste by 5%, you can follow 2 different approach. Either you can optimize the manufacturing process. So in a manufacturing process, waste can happen at 3 different stages. So waste can happen at the time of manufacturing. So if the raw material is bad, then you may have a little more waste. Or a waste can also happen when you're packaging a product. So sometimes people end up damaging those products. So you can optimize the manufacturing facility, and that's how you'd be able to decrease down the waste reduction by 5%. Also, you can outsource the process to a white label manufacturer or to a contract manufacturer, and that's how you can also reduce down the waste. So you have a goal in mind, that's the future state of your business, and you will take these specific actions called objective in or target every single month or every single quarter should not be your goal. Your goal should be critical and significant for the business. Also, it should be realistic and challenging. And again, we have covered all of these things like precise, measurable, realistic, challenging in the SMART approach. And it should include both financial and non-financial component. Now let's discuss about objective. So I assume that you already understand that objective are all the tasks that will help you achieve a specific goal. And these objectives will act as the foundation of planning. And these objectives have the following feature. You should not have a single objective. You can have multiple objectives in order to achieve a goal. Your objective should be short-term and long-term in a company. And your objective must respond and react to changes in the environment. So they must be flexible. And as usual, your objective should be feasible, realistic, and operational. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of theory, so you don't really have to memorize these concept or theory. I mean, if you have to work with a senior management or a senior executive in your company, then you can use these concepts. Otherwise, you just need to know the basics of mission, vision, and goals of a company. So now you have to complete a small assignment and you have to think about the vision and the mission statement of a company like Amazon. Please do not search this mission and vision statement of Amazon on Google. Just think about it. From an employee who works at Amazon, how does a vision and a mission statement in Amazon looks like? I mean, what they wanted to become in next 5 to 10 years and what is their current state of business. So their next 5 to 10 year ambition is their vision and their current state of business is their mission. So just think about it and maybe then you can continue playing this video, because in this video, I will also help you understand about the mission and the vision statement of Amazon. So just spend some time and think about the mission and the vision statement of a company like Amazon. So I hope you have written a vision and a mission statement of Amazon. Now, your vision or mission statement don't really have to match with Amazon, because the main purpose of assignment was to make sure that you are using your brain and you're writing about the vision and the mission of the company. So let's discuss about it. So the vision statement of Amazon is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company and to build a place where people can discover and find anything they want, and they can also buy those products online. Their mission statement is to offer customer the lowest possible price and the best available selection and at the utmost convenience. Now, if you look at this mission statement, you will find three important terms: lowest price, best selection, and utmost convenience. And I think you have seen these three important keywords in the previous few videos, that Amazon always wanted to focus on giving you a product at the best possible price, the different variety of a product, and they always focus on shipping the product in the shortest duration of time. And we had a discussion about this framework in the first video of this course, that Amazon wanted to be a faster, cheaper, and a better alternative to retailing. I mean, offline retailing. Now, if you really want to understand how exactly Amazon makes sure that they have a wider selection and they are selling their product at the most affordable price and their shipping is super fast, then you have to understand about the flywheel concept. Now, if you don't really want to understand this, it's perfectly fine. You can skip this part. But this is a super interesting concept that you should know. So if you look at any company in this world, one of the reasons a company can become successful and it is able to target a mass market is when the company is having the lower cost structure. So in a company, you have to have a lower cost structure so that you'd be able to hire enough people to do a specific operation. So Amazon have a lower cost structure, and that's how they are able to maintain lower prices on their platform. So if you have lower cost structure and you're maintaining a lower prices on your platform, then customer will buy more number of product from your platform. That's very obvious. And the customer will have a good customer experience. So imagine if people are purchasing more number of product from your website or e-commerce app. In that case, the traffic is good. If the traffic is good, then these sellers will list more and more number of product. And that's very obvious because you have more number of people coming to your platform and they are buying a ton of product. In that case, more number of sellers, or we call these as third-party sellers, will be interested in selling their product. If more number of sellers are selling the product on an e-commerce platform, then that platform have more selection or variety of product. And if they have more selection or variety of product, then customer will become happy. And this is a vicious cycle. And we call this vicious cycle as a flywheel, because once a platform have a wide selection of product and these sellers are competing with each other because they wanted to list down their product at the cheapest rate possible so that they can get maximum number of orders. So these sellers are competing with each other. They are listing variety of product for people and they are selling at the most affordable rate. And that's why people are purchasing the product from the platform. And that's the flywheel concept. And this flywheel concept will make any platform unstoppable. So if more number of people are purchasing product from Amazon, in that case, more number of seller will list their product at the most affordable price because they are competing with each other and people are purchasing more quantity of product. So earlier, if a delivery guy was carrying, let's say 50 or 100 different boxes at once, now he's carrying 300 or maybe 400 different boxes because more and more people are purchasing from Amazon. So the success of Amazon is a combination of lower per unit cost because of economies of scale. They have a flywheel running. And that's why Amazon is unstoppable. Now, if you look at their goals that they have in their supply chain, is that they wanted to make sure that they have the right kind of product on their platform and they're maintaining the right quantity of that specific product, and they're making sure that the product is being delivered at the right time. And they also have these quality check. So the seller have to go through these quality check, and they are also selling those products at an affordable price. And that's how Amazon is able to succeed in their business.
Just a quick info guys, Intellipaat offers supply chain management course in collaboration with EICT IIT Guwahati. Through this course, you will learn technologies such as procurement, logistics, supplier management, and practical exercises, which are mentored by our industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of supply chain management.